Orlando Scandrick has played in the NFL for 12 years. He was on that Kansas City team against New England last year. He was on the Cowboys for years. He was on the Philadelphia Eagles, a team I like structurally, but I can't get my arms around what the hell's wrong with the Eagles this year. I've been wrong on them all year. He was just released by the Eagles and had some pointed comments this morning on Undisputed. Malcolm Jenkins has fired back at him on Twitter, so I want to bring him on. A 12-year Boise State, Cowboys, Chiefs, Eagles, Orlando Scandrick is now joining us in the Herd on a Friday. 12 years, should be noted a current free agent as well. So let's start with this. You had some opinions about Malcolm Jenkins. I just want to read this, what I can read on the air, Orlando, what I'm allowed to read according to the FCC. Malcolm Jenkins, on your comments this morning, I could give two blanks about people who aren't here. He says, for us to move on as a team, we can't have blankers like that in the room. Why do you think why did your comments bother him so much? What did you say and what bothered him?
I think it's a defense mechanism.
You know, pull up Mike just a little bit.
I think it's a defense mechanism. I didn't speak anything but the truth. They asked me a question. I think that when you're a leader, you lead. But clearly, my point being proven, everything about that shows you that everything going on outside of that locker room is still bothering them. And if I came in here and I accused you of something and it wasn't true, you'd say it was a lie. I'm not even going to talk about it. But if I struck a nerve, then what would you do?
I would fire back.
Yeah.
I said 3 weeks ago about Malcolm Jenkins, who I think, you know, he was a very good player. I said 3 weeks ago to one of the guys on our staff who's a Philadelphia Eagle diehard, Sam, I said, what happened to Malcolm Jenkins?
Selfishness.
What do you mean?
Selfishness. You know, when you have a job to do and you don't do it and you know that it's supposed to be done, what's the other reason that you could have not done it?
You think he's a selfish player?
If I tell you to go take the trash out and you throw more trash away and you don't do it, what's the reasoning for it? Do you not know how to?
Did he say trash?
Give me a specific example.
You can just look at the Minnesota game. I mean, we're playing half coverage. You know, he's not over the top. We get beat for a 70-yard touchdown by Diggs, and it's just, oh, it's okay, Jinx. You know, it happened. You know, it's okay. You're a good player. You've been a good player. You can do it. It's okay. You know, it's okay. Get you 8-8. Some cases 7-9.
Did you guys struggle to get along initially, or was it something?
I just don't even think I ever had a connection. I mean, I didn't have much of a connection with a lot of people on that team.
Why?
I went to that team because of Deshaun Jackson. Like, I love him like a brother. I think I had more of a connection with offensive players than I did defensive players, but I also think there was some defensive players that I did have connections with, like Russell Douglas, Brandon Graham, Vinny Curry. I don't know. I mean, I've never had a problem with Jenkins, but it sounds like he's making it personal now.
Got one now.
You know,
You think he's a selfish player? And you, by the way,
I think those were selfish acts. I don't know if he's selfish or not. I haven't played with him enough, but I know he is. Like, when you start pressing to make plays for yourself, that's a selfish act.
what's wrong with their locker room? Lane Johnson said guys are missing meetings. I love the structure. I like Howie Roseman. I think he's smart. Doug Peterson, Carson Wentz is talented. I generally, first thing I look at in sports, I like the Warriors because I like their GM, their coach, their leader, Steph Curry. I like the organization, but I'm hearing all this guys don't show up for meetings, guys are late. Was it that bad? I
mean, accountability starts at the top. And then when you got guys, the first thing they do when they get off the practice field is look on Twitter to respond. That's hilarious. That's laughable to me. You know, if it didn't strike a nerve, you just let it pass by.
Why does Carson Wentz get the heat? Is it Carson Wentz?
I think Carson's a great guy, man. He's a great young quarterback. He works hard. He's continually trying to improve. I think he's going to get better and better with time and reps.
But why do I always hear, quote, some guys preferred Nick Foles, some guys don't like him? Who are the some guys?
I don't know. Ask Malcolm. He got all the answers.
So you guys have this is a real thing. You're not a fan of his. He's not a fan of you. That's okay.
I mean, but my thing is I didn't commit any selfish acts when I was there. I was completely selfless through the whole time in camp. Like, I've been a part of an organization. I've been the captain of a defense before. You know, I haven't won a Super Bowl. He's won 2 Super Bowls. And, you know, so I kind of took a back seat. You know, I did everything above and beyond that was asked of me. I just think that that's a different kind of place.
Do you think they released you because of this relationship?
Who knows? I don't put nothing past Malcolm. I think they released Zach Brown because Malcolm had something to say with it. I think that, you always try to find a reason or somewhere you can get better instead of just looking yourself in the mirror and saying, you know what, we're going to get through this. I'm going to start with myself and not get on other people.
Do you think they can turn it around, or do you think these are, do you think the chemistry's lost, that it's become a selfish locker room?
I wouldn't say a selfish locker room. I think there's some people that are selfish, but I think they can turn it around. I mean, the schedule's not getting any easier, and nobody feels bad for you. And I'm going to go with the theory of, 90% of the world doesn't care about your problems. In other 10%, they're happy you have them.
It's interesting because I want to talk about two other stops. Let's talk about the Dallas Cowboys. You played for years.
First-class organization.
First of all, what was your relationship with Jerry Jones?
Man, it was fantastic. I didn't get a chance to speak to him directly. I did get to speak to Charlotte Jones-Anderson this
weekend. Great.
I got to speak to Steven. One of the largest regrets I have in my sports career is asking to be released from the Dallas Cowboys.
You made a mistake.
Yes.
Made a mistake.
Why?
I don't know. I think that I just thought in my mind that maybe it was time to move on. Maybe the grass was greener when, in reality, the grass was green there. It was great, and I probably should have stayed.
Jason Garrett gets a lot of heat.
Every other week, my man JG's going to get fired, but he just comes to work. He doesn't let outside noise bother him. He controls the message of his team. He's a great leader. He's always, thinking positive, and he's a great coach. I mean, I think he's the most underrated coach in football.
Do players respect him?
I think they do.
He's not a barker. He's not a yeller.
But he does, though, when it comes down to it. I think he doesn't do it publicly. He's not out to take shots at people in the media, and he doesn't do this whole bickering and anonymous source thing. And, even when they're winning, it's good. And when they're losing, you don't hear people saying, oh, there's an anonymous source saying that Dak's struggling. There's an anonymous source saying that Zeke shouldn't have held out. And I just think they got the right formula up there.
Wow.
We talk about Dak Prescott. I believe when you pay a quarterback, just the quarterback, 25% of the salary is about, is he a grown-up? Can I build my franchise around him? It's one of the reasons I've been very critical of Baker Mayfield. It's one of the reasons I like Deshaun Watson, that I like Dak. I don't think Dak's a natural Aaron Rodgers, Favre, Russell Wilson.
Oh, here we go.
But there's something about Dak. He feels like a man's man. He is an adult. Did you like him?
I loved him. He was a leader. He's been a leader since the first day I met him. I mean, he's a natural-born leader. He's the first person in the building. He's the last person out. And I think Dak deserves to get paid whatever it is that he's going to get paid.
Was there ever guys in the locker room that were concerned that he's not the magical arm? He's not Deshaun Watson, the athlete. Are there some concerns?
No, Dak came in a very, very unique situation. Dak came in with Kellen Moore being Kellen Moore's backup and Kellen breaking his ankle, and Tony Romo hurting himself in the preseason. And here goes Dak from third string to first string. His demeanor never changed. He continued to work. He handled success great. He doesn't do bad things off the field. He's not in the headlines in the media. He just goes and works. He just progresses. He's getting better week to week.
Wentz looks like a better talent. Dak wins. You've played with both. If you have,
I would ask you. I would pose the question to you: what makes Wentz a better talent? Is it because he's a little bit taller? Is it because he's a little bit stronger, or what makes him a better talent? Or what has Carson done?
I think Wentz is a bigger, stronger, better arm, more arm angles, talent, but you have to win, and Wentz is not winning as much as Nick Foles.
I think Dak's got all of that, but the offensive scheme kind of held him back at the beginning. I think they brought him along slow. Great offensive line, great
Sorry,
game.
Chris, I gotta play this. This is just too much fun
let's move
for
forward.
me.
Now last weekend they did pretty much whatever they wanted to. They dropped back pass. He changed plays, play action. He kept it. He brings a dynamic that is very special from a quarterback perspective.
Now, you were also last year on a Chiefs team that got to the AFC Championship. It's interesting because I have a lot of admiration for Andy Reid, but it was a defense that struggled. But I want to ask you, 12-year veteran, you faced that New England team leading up to that game. You played them twice last year, I think. I always love to ask players, smart players. They've had two dynasties, right? They had what is the special sauce for that?
The New England Patriots, they do what they do extremely well, and they take away what you do and make you play left-handed. They can beat a man-to-man team one week.
All right, so we're done. Hello. Hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo. And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this really does not work. Let's get open for business and let's wake up the football gods here. You know, it's amazing because, wake up, guys, our Cowboys are off. We ain't got nothing going on. We ain't got nothing going on except for us signing Michael Bennett, which I think is going to be a good thing. But when you listen to Orlando Scandrick, shout out to everybody who's on Facebook, who's chiming in. We're just going to do a little short live stream here just to get caught up. You know, we started something last week and stuff, doing a drive time, little live stream and stuff, getting everybody in here, getting you hyped because we got our main live stream that's every Monday and Friday nights tonight. And tonight, we're going to actually have Mike Fisher will be actually Skyping in. So be sure to tune in on that one. Got some questions for him about the team, about Michael Bennett, about Dak Prescott, and the first time that him and I actually had a conversation. So tune in 9 o'clock Eastern and make sure you subscribe to my channel. So shout out to everybody who's watching on Facebook and everything. Chris. Well, damn, Chris, I appreciate that $24.99 super chat. You're enraged. What a piece of crap. Well, I got to be honest, man. I mean, you look at that. I'm just trying to understand what's going on in Philadelphia. You know, it's amazing because I went on Lord Brunson's. You know, he ain't calling my name like he used to. He used to say my name every single day. Now, I'll have people that could come running to me. Man, Lord Brunson, man, he been talking about you. I ain't been hearing it. I go on Philly 500. He's talking about basketball. And I was just chilling. And all and behold, Orlando Scandrick drops a bomb. Literally drops a bomb on Philadelphia. Now, I don't know what's going on in there. But it's safe to say they got some real problems with Philadelphia. That's not to say that they can't right the ship. They can. But right now, you know, a win solves a lot of problems. But right now, man, if they lose to Buffalo, that season might be over with because they literally are on a collision course. You got people pointing fingers left and right. You get, you know, Orlando Scandrick is like, I'm a scapegoat here. You know, I know I didn't play great, but, you know, take a look at the captain. What did he do out there? He got trucked. Carson Wentz, you know, he's out here trying to talk about, oh, we need to stay after practice so we can do some extra work. He's like, I know what Dak did. Dak was out constantly trying to. So shout out, how you doing, Bobby Ice, Tom Jasper, Jam Wordlord, Joseph, how you doing tonight? Malicious Cowboy 86. We just up in here having a little bit of fun. And shout out to Victor, how you doing on Facebook there, man? What's up? You're sad. Why are you sad, Victor? Well, we're over here just doing a little early live stream because we just love seeing the Eagles implode. In fact, this is perfect because I talked to Philly, and Philly is a true fan. Philly 500 is a true fan. But, you know, I got to ride him. I got to ride Philly because he would be riding me right now because I got him something, and it came at just the perfect day. Because, see, look, I got Philly a toilet bowl. I'm just waiting for him to send me his address so that way I can send it to him because he definitely going to need it because that team's been flushed. And I've been thinking that, no, I should be kind, man, because this is the Eagles fans' time of need. They're hurting. We know what it feels like to have a team implode, to have fingers being pointed, you know, players talking and everything else. But then I think about what I've been putting up with since 2017. And it's funny because things I've said, I'd like to think that I am a student of the game. I like to think that, you know, I do analyze. I do look at statistics. I go through and I follow things along. Because, see, I look at the numbers. And when I said something like, you know what happens to teams when they're 2 years out? Well, thank you, and I appreciate you, Calix. Okay. Thank you for the super chat. I cannot pronounce that to save my life. My dyslexia is getting in, and I appreciate you subscribing to my other channel. When I said to the Eagles after the Super Bowl, I said what happens is teams come back on average about 3 games. And they literally said, oh no, you're just a hater. The Eagles, best built team in football. We're going to be dominating for the next 10 years. And I said, whoa, 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 whoa. I said, slow your roll. Let's look at the numbers. And I will go through history. And I pointed out teams 3 years out of Super Bowls, on average, are about 4 games behind the year they went to the Super Bowl. So I'm just kind of pointing those things out, and they're like, you're just a hater. You know, all the talking heads, you know, everybody's got us rated. And that's the thing that I love. Oh, I love it. You know, I keep trying to find Brethren, his name in the block list, because that idiot kept trying to tell me, you know, oh, you know, Carson Wentz was rated 56. Dak Prescott's not on the list. He's garbage. Yeah, these are the same guys that say that Dak Prescott's a tier 3 quarterback. Okay? These same guys are still saying that, well, you know, Carson Wentz's numbers are better than what they actually look because his players are dropping passes, even though we actually lead the league. Appreciate that, Chris. I appreciate that. We actually lead the league. Cal Exploria? Ploraninia? Thank you very much. But I said that, you know, I kept saying, I think the Cowboys have a chance to win the division. We'll have to wait and see. But you see the Redskins, their defense plays well, but their offense is putrid. They don't even know about the first-round draft pick to quarterback. They don't play them. The Giants, well, you know, we thought we had Danny Dimes, and it looks like he's about more like 2 cents right now. And maybe they're thinking about benching him. And the Eagles, they look dysfunctional right now. Am I wrong to say that? Am I wrong to say that the Eagles look dysfunctional right now? I don't know the last time I've seen. I mean, this is worse than the Redskins were last year with DJ Swearinger out there talking about how they practice. Now you've got a guy who's actually done work, and Lane Johnson talking about guys, how they practice and show up late. I mean, and now you're seeing articles out there talking about how Carson Wentz might become one of those hated Eagle players from the fan standpoint, that the fans are turning on him. Wow. 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 Can you believe it? Stello. Thank you very much for the super chat. Dano, thank you very much for that super chat. I appreciate all these super chats tonight. The Eagles, I don't know if I should be happy about this or not because, you know, every superhero has to have a villain to compete with. Right now, I don't know. It's sad, isn't it? Eagles are trash. The Eagles are depressed. I agree. A lot of Mark says comes true. Example, the poopy, the doo-doo Browns. Oh, my God. People say I'm a hater, but thank you. I'm actually more right than I am wrong. Have you watched him communicate with his receivers? It ain't pretty. You know, he probably reminds me of my high school coach, man, because it was one of those ones that everybody just want to say, read between the lines. They truck the Eagles, and you don't see stuff like that happen to Malcolm Jenkins. And then you've got, you know, Deshaun Jackson, who they thought was going to be the savior. Dude hasn't played since the first game, and every week they keep talking about, no, Sandman. Come on now, Sandman. Listen. You got to understand, you don't know the beating that I took week after week after the Eagles figured it was safe to talk trash when they finally won the Super Bowl. I took it I mean, look, I was taking bullets left, right. You know, I was the guy that they pull in front of them as a human shield. I was taking bullets for all of Cowboys Nation. I had Eagles and oh my Lord. So I got to give a little bit of it back, okay? Just want to give a little bit of it back because, the Cowboys, I feel good about it. But that's not to say that everything's great in our house. So since you guys are talking, are sad about, it's Philly below 500, Jackson. Philly below 500, by the way. How much better do you think we might be with Bennett? Well, here's the thing. Putting him in the rotation, I think he'll be motivated. He's one of those guys who's a little bit edgy. And he's one of those guys that loves to play frickin' football, okay? He loves to get to the quarterback and knock the snot out of him, okay? He's not going to be, forgiving or anything like that. He is going to be a guy who's going to come to play lights out. And the fact that Thank you very much, Stella. I appreciate that. The fact that you have Chris Richard here, who's somebody who worked with him through his best years and things like that, who knows him, Chris Richard is excited about him. So if he thought he was going to be a problem, Chris Richard would say, "Nah, buddy, he don't have that much left." But think about this: with the Eagles, he had 8.5 sacks last year. A lot of people were talking about Robert Quinn. He only had 6 sacks last year. He's kind of playing down, right? Right? Isn't that what they were saying? But he went from being with the Rams to Miami, which was a putrid team, okay, not in his natural position, right? And then goes to New England. Even in limited time, he had 2.5 sacks this year. His problem that we heard with him with New England was he wasn't getting enough playing time. So he's going to the coaches, "Yo, I want to play, I want to play, I want to play, I want to play." And they're like, "Sit your ass down." It's like, "I don't want to sit down. I want to get out there and knock the snot out of a quarterback." And so with him being 33 years old, with him realizing that the writing's on the wall, I only have so much more time. I want some more hardware. And you got a guy now, when you go and play New England in November, who's going to be motivated to get some payback. He's going to want to get some. You're going to be talking about a guy who was with the Eagles who want to get some too. And you can never have enough pass rushers to put in there. And I dare say he's not the biggest tackle. He's really a defensive end, but he played more tackle in New England than he did defensive end. But he can be dominant. He can get on a roll. If he can get that push and help up in the run game, keep the rotation fresh, dude, that's amazing. That's amazing. So I'm happy. And here's the great thing about it. Understand this. It's a 7th-round pick is what you gave up. How many 7th-round picks have we got that made the team? Now, I know there are a few 7th-round picks that are in the Hall of Fame, but chances are you're not finding them very often, okay? He's got a 2-year deal. Basically, you owe him $1 million for this year. $1 million, peel that off real quick. If you want him for next year, you can have him for $7 million. If you don't, you can say bye-bye and you got no dead money. Not a cent. Not a penny. What you got to lose? What do you have to lose? Right now, it's funny because I was talking to Philly 500. He's like, that's a guy that we needed now. He said, that's a guy that we should not have traded away to New England. And as much as we give the Dallas Cowboys a hard way to go, I want you to understand. I want you to think about this right now. Think about this. Listen to what I'm saying right now. The Cowboys have made a lot of mistakes since the 90s. Okay? A lot of mistakes. But you can't argue with the rebirth of the Dallas Cowboys, which started after that putrid season in 2015. Okay? To me, everything that happened before, that's a different team. This is a new Dallas Cowboy team. Yes, we had a few pieces, Tyron Smith and Zach Martin and DeMarcus Lawrence that were here before that. But the majority of this team, this group, Sean Lee, Jason Witten, but the majority of this group came from 2016 forward. They don't know about the 8-8s, okay? They don't know about the Tony Onos. They don't know about all of the icing the kicker and losing to the Detroit Lions being up 21, or losing to not Aaron Rodgers, to Matt Flynn after being up 21 to 3 at half. What this team has had is 3 winning seasons. What this team is young talent. And this talent has been put together by this management guys, by Will McClay drafting lights out, by finding guys. Think about it. We got Amari Cooper. Do you not think that Amari Cooper is as good, if not better, than Dez Bryant? You think we could have found a receiver like that in the draft where we were picking in the late 20s? No. You're not finding that. You get a Robert Quinn for a 6th-round pick. Robert Quinn was a 6th-round pick, a guy who's motivated because he's looking to get a contract. You're not spending a boatload of money on him unless you decide to re-sign him. You get a Randall Cobb in free agency. He's not doing outstanding things, but he's playing a role. And now you go out and you get a Michael Bennett. These are the kind of things that New England would do to stay on top, where New England dominates their division every year because they beat, the Jets, they beat the Buffaloes, they beat the Dolphins every year. They win those games constantly. They keep getting rid of older players and stuff, and they bring in people that fit their systems. We got a long ways to go before we're there, but right now you got to look and say, you're bringing in talent. You're finding people where people aren't finding them. And you are signing them, and you're still keeping your cap in order. Everybody is pissed off because we got to pay Dak Prescott. Would you rather be the Redskins, who just tried to draft a quarterback and they're not sure that he can even play because they keep saying he's not ready, he's not ready? Well, it's the middle of the season. You spent the 15th pick on him, and you say he's not ready. Well, you better figure out a way to make him ready, or you got to figure out if you're going to need to draft somebody else. You look at the Arizona Cardinals, who had drafted a quarterback number 1 one year, turns around and drafts another one the next year. I think Orlando Scandrick is saying, please, Cowboys, can I come home? Can I come home, please? I love you guys. I love you guys. Can I come back home, please? I want to be back home. That's what he's saying right now. Haley 94 where? He can't hurt none. He was just there. I'm sure he's more than happy to do whatever he can to get a win. Y'all miss me, Eagles fans? Okay. Now, the Eagle fans, I've been trying to troll them and bring them out, but they just won't come out and play, man. They just won't come out and play, man. Getting Scandrick back, he's got some juicy info. I don't think he's going to be able to bring him back. I don't think so. Not as a player. Maybe they'll bring him back in the fold of being a Cowboy player, after the fact and stuff. Bro, this is the same situation as 3 weeks, after the first 3 weeks. True. But here's the great thing. Let's think about this. We could have been the Eagles this week. That's the sad thing. But we're not. Right now, coming out next week, we will be as healthy as we have been all season. In fact, I will say we may actually be healthier. And here's why I say that. Because here's my thing. Zeke Elliott, to start the season, remember, he had been in Cabo. He signed the week of the season. He didn't get training camp. He's just getting his legs underneath him. Okay? Byron Jones missed all of training camp, OTA workouts and stuff because he had hip surgery. He's really getting into stride now. And you could say the same for DeMarcus Lawrence. DeMarcus Lawrence started off real slow. He had the shoulder problem, then he had the ankle, he had the hip, and everything else. And the reason being is He didn't have any contact. He showed up, and now I'm playing games. You go from 0 to 100 miles an hour without warming up the engine, you're going to have some things that are clunking a little bit. So you saw what he was able to do last week. If he's able to get into that groove like that, then okay, all right. Now you got Tyron Smith who gets an extra week. You got Lyle Collins who gets an extra week to get that hip and stuff together. You've got time now for Amari Cooper to let that bruise, that blood work out of that thigh and get some extra treatment. You catch your breath. You've now had training camp, and for some of these guys who are later on, you've got an opportunity now to feel good. So you got the bye week right now, which is a chance for us to catch our breath and feel good going into it. Because now you look at it and say, you know what? We lost 3 games, but we didn't lose one in our division. We got the Giants up next. Let's come out of this thing. Let's beat the Giants down early and take it easy and get ready for this next stretch. I know we got Buffalo, but we got Buffalo at home on Thanksgiving. The advantage is going to be on us. I know we got New England in New England, but you know what? I got a feeling that the Cowboys are going to show up. New England has gotten some incredible victories. I agree. The New England, their defense looks legit, but let me do this real quick. I'm sorry, I didn't have stuff queued up because this is the drive time, which is kind of low budget. Because normally when I do my regular live stream, and be sure to tune in tonight for our live stream. I'm supposed to be Skyping in with Mike Fisher tonight, but the stream ended. What stream ended? I have no idea who they're going to cut, but it'll be somebody way, way down it. You have just 5 minutes just checking to say, Cowboys fans, what's up? Orlando Scandrick dumped all over the Eagles today, and it was beautiful. Okay, let's look at New England's full schedule, because this is where we got told that Cowboys you only beat up on bad teams, and now they're including the Eagles as bad teams now. That's what's really funny. That's what's really, really funny. Okay, so you beat the Steelers, right? You beat Miami. We didn't beat the Jets, but I understand. I got that. They always beat the Jets. The Bills, 16-10. Your offense did not score a touchdown. Your defense did to win that game. You destroyed the Redskins, but everybody's destroying the Redskins. And you played the Giants, and you played the Jets again. Then you play the doo-doo Browns, who I know they were a Super Bowl favorite. They're going to contend. And I told you guys, you can't just bring a bunch of all-stars in and think that they're all of a sudden going to be able to play, okay? And then they play the Ravens. But honestly, look at that. There's one team with a winning record that they've played all season. So are the New England Patriots really that good? Or have they just been playing some of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL? We'll find out what we got when we go up to Foxborough and play them. So they've got the Browns, they got the Ravens, then they got a bye. Then they play at the Eagles, and the Eagles, I think by then, the Eagles will have completely imploded. And then there's us. 4:25 in November. So I go back to my original question. Is New England that good, or are they just beating up on some really bad teams too? Don't get me wrong. New England always knows how to win. Q, what's the weather like? Are we talking about New England in November? It's cold. It's going to be cold, and it's 4:30. apostles. Yes, they destroy the Miamis. They destroy the Jets. But here's the thing. They didn't destroy Buffalo. They had to get a defensive score to win. So you still have to wonder, are they that good or not? Okay, somebody's actually talking about a safety for the. I'm sorry, I was checking. I get notifications all the time, so I just want to make sure enough. We were doing a live stream the other day, and all of a sudden, or yesterday, and all of a sudden, Michael Bennett signed. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Dallas Cowboys made another move in here. They're saying, of course, the same thing they said yesterday. We're not looking to make any moves and things, but you never know. Something can happen, and you go ahead and go for it. And that's what they did with Michael Bennett. I'm actually, Jet D, I'm actually looking forward to that one myself, too. And here's the thing that now you look at. You understand what Brady hates is he hates pressure up the middle. If you can pressure Tom Brady up the middle, then he's not the same quarterback. That's what the Giants did to him in those 2 Super Bowls. And I think that the Cowboys getting, Michael Bennett. Well, Deion Thorne, here's the thing. It helps to be a Super Bowl contender every year when you play in their division. When you have 3 patsies every year and you're getting 6 wins. It's flooding down in Galveston and it's cold. I'm sorry to hear that, Q, man. Be careful out there. But look, they're going to get 6 wins every year. Every year they're going to get 6 wins in their division. So that means all you have to do is win, go 500. The rest against everybody else. If you go 500 against everybody else, you've got 11 wins every year. And if you do slightly better than that, then you're getting home field advantage. And you've got New England in the cold. And you've got an owner who was always one of the power owners in the NFL. And it always seems like there's a tuck rule or cheating scandal or something that always goes through and helps New England. You know what I'm saying? We don't get things that happen like that. We get all of the, unnecessary roughness on the running back for lowering his head, or we get unsportsmanlike conduct for too many men in the huddle, or we get our receivers molested downfield and don't get a pass interference. We get catches, no catches. You know what I'm saying? Leonard Williams from Jets. I wouldn't mind that one. How you doing, Emily? Glad to see you back. We released Jesse Hamilton. Exactly. Who's Hamilton? Exactly. Who is Hamilton? We can't be good teams. So that means that he passed his physical then. We can't be good teams. Dak needs consistency from other members of the offense. Well, I agree with that too, Norman. But Norman, not just that. The whole team needs to. But if you look at the Jets, New Orleans, as well as Green Bay, if we played in the first half like we did in the second half, we win on all 3 of those. All 3 of those we could have won. And that's the thing that kills you. If you go out, and the other thing is turnovers. You got to get turnovers. You do those things, you're in pretty good shape at winning football games. And you're not going to win them all. You just got to make sure you win enough to get to the dance, that you stay healthy, you stay focused, and you get ready to rock and roll. So that's all I got to say about that. I understand that Bennett wasn't being used right, but he is a diva. Go look at his Facebook page. I don't care about his Facebook page. I care, can you get to the quarterback and kick his ass? That's all I care about. Well, Norman, here's the thing that here's what my hope is. Because you had Tyrone Crawford, because you had Byron Jones, and because you also had DeMarcus Lawrence all have surgery, then they all missed training camp. Those guys were slow out the box. Now, we know Tyrone Crawford, of course, is on IR. But you got a big push now all of a sudden from Robert Quinn. You add Michael Bennett to the mix. That'll give you a boost. You get Antoine Woods, who's now getting back to being healthy because he missed out a lot of the early games, okay? Thank you very much, Stella, for the super chat. Those things are going to help. And I think you're going to start seeing Jordan Lewis playing more, even though he breaks the mold of what Chris Richard likes, having those tall guys. You know, he's 5'10". Chris Richard likes, big cornerbacks. But you got to get that guy on the field. I think you will start seeing the Dallas Cowboys defense getting better and better. That's my thought, and we'll have to wait and see. But that's all we're going to do for our live stream here right now. If you want to keep the thing going, be here at 9 o'clock tonight. We're going to be having Mike Fisher will be going with us. We'll be fishing with Mike Fisher and talking about the Dallas Cowboys tonight. So make sure you tune in and do me a solid here. Do me a solid right here. This is the link to my other YouTube channel. I think I'm only about 100 away from 1,000. If I can get to 1,000 on that thing, then I can start live streaming. Next weekend, I'll be going to Puerto Rico, rebuilding houses, and I want to be able to use that channel as this one as well to upload because it takes so long to upload. So everybody who did a super chat, let me make sure I get your name up in here. We got Stello. Let's see. We got Kiss Canmore, who went crazy. Good Lord. He did 4 super chats. Damn. We got California Experinia. We got, oh no, you did 5 of them. Damn. We got Stello. We got Dano. We got Stello. And we got Stello. I appreciate all those super chats and stuff. You are helping the channel grow. So be sure to subscribe to my other channel. If you haven't subscribed to this one, please do. And, come back tonight, 9 o'clock Eastern, because like I said, we will have Mike Fisher in the house. I'm Mark Holmes, Cowboy Joe Boo, and hopefully you got to where you had to go during drive time. Oh, well, let me put the link up again. Here's the link, my man, Brian. Here you go. Bam. There it is. You don't have to go home, but it's time for us to turn off the lights because this party is over.
The party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night. The party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing again.